On February 10, 2023, Google dedicated a doodle honoring PK Rosy on her 120th birth anniversary. PK Rosy, the woman who was not only the first actress in Malayalam cinema, but also the first Dalit woman ever to star in a feature film. In this video, let's take a look at her life and work and reflect on the caste politics that function in our society. Rosy was born as Rosamma in 1903 in a Pulaya family in Nandankode village, Trivandrum. Belonging to a Dalit subcaste, her family worked as grass cutters on the lawns and fields of the Malayali elite. Her family was impoverished further when her father passed away at a young age, and Rosy spent her childhood cutting grass and working. However, she always had a passion for art and learned acting and theatre amidst opposition from several patriarchal forces of the time. She studied Kakarashi Natakam, a Tamil folk theatre based on tales of Shiv and Parvati's arrival on earth as nomads, and performed in a combination of Tamil and Malayalam. She was a part of a drama company in Thiruvananthapuram when her talent was discovered by director J.C. Daniel during a performance. Following this discovery, in 1928, she went on to act in the director's pioneering debut, Vigatha Kumaran, The Lost Child. At a time when social conventions and attitudes kept women far from the silver screen, Rosy became the first leading lady in Malayalam cinema through her role in the silent film. For a Dalit woman to be cast in a leading role as an upper caste Nayar woman and be recognized as an artist was a courageous step against male upper caste dominance. Naturally, it offended a majority of the viewers and was met with resentments. The film was screened on 7th November 1928 at Capital Cinema in Thiruvananthapuram. On the first day of the release itself, the film was received with outrage, especially by men belonging to the upper caste Nayar community. Already high-established members of the Malayalam film industry refused to watch the screening as long as PK Rosy would sit among the rest of the audience. She was eventually disinvited from the first public screening of her own film. Reportedly, the film had a scene showing her lover, played by J.C. Daniel, kissing a flower she had worn in her hair, which enraged the upper caste people and resulted in stones being thrown at the screen. Nayar men took her role as a personal offense, and it hurt their caste pride to the extent that it turned the screening theatre into a site of great chaos and violence. Apart from a still from the movie, there are no existing prints of Vigatha Kumaran now. PK Rosy never escaped the constant attack thrown at her since. Large groups of Nayar landlords burned her house down. The violence that she faced as a consequence of a simple acting role forced her to flee from Kerala, and Rosy was never able to return to participating in cinema. While not much is known about her life after her departure from Kerala, it is believed that she escaped to Tamil Nadu with the help of a lorry driver, Kesava Pillai, whom she eventually married. Ironically, her husband came from the upper caste Nayar family himself. Some claim that she adopted the name Rajamma working as an agriculture worker in paddy fields. Rosy received considerable fame and admiration, sadly only after her death in the year 1988. An author named Vinu Abraham wrote a novel that revolved around director J.C. Daniel and his first heroine PK Rosy. Although the novel never became popular enough to enter mainstream media, in 2013, a film was released called Celluloid, which was based on the life of J.C. Daniel and his attempt to make the first Malayalam film. This particularly allowed scope to acknowledge the struggle and contribution of PK Rosy as an icon, who challenged the status quo that long persisted in the film industry. However, as per reports, the film was criticized by Dalit intellectuals for failing to give Rosy her due. The same year, at the first PK Rosy Memorial Lecture organized at Jamia Millia Islamia University in Delhi, Professor Jenny Rowena discussed the critical responses to the film. In 2019, the Women in Cinema Collective launched a film society in Rosy's name as an attempt to take note of all those who have been excluded from dominant cinema histories. PK Rosy did the unthinkable. She carved for herself a space that was strictly closed for women, and more significantly, women from marginalized backgrounds to penetrate into. Her legacy is representative of the subaltern voices that mainstream cinema finds so convenient to vanquish, and it must be kept alive for generations and communities to come.